Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
But seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
Look at this.
what is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go.
Did you hear that hair?
Radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Mother O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell! Well, good Monday morning.
Good morning.
And actually, after a weekend that's been kind of not so nice. Yes, actually, it really started to be nice Saturday, and then all of a sudden the wind started blowing and it got cold.
Yeah, and yesterday was just awful.
Miserable. But today will improve. Sunshine and in the 50s. Tomorrow, sun and clouds and in the 60s before we go back down into the 40s. I don't know. This has just been the worst April. The worst March.
It's been brutal.
Yeah, but anyway, it'll get better. It's coming. It'll get better.
We were spoiled in the month of February. That's the problem. We had that early nice weather. So
even the whole winter, we didn't get any winter, so you just knew something was coming that wasn't going to be good. So nonetheless, here we are. Friday before we ended the weekend, we learned about Superintendent Bruce Karam's sentencing. What do you? So I don't think he's facing any other charges right now.
Right.
I know that LaPola still faces federal charges, but Bruce Karam is not, and he'll end up having to pay. I don't know, about $162,000, which will go back. I believe goes back to the school district. They'll be able to put that money towards programs for kids.
Now, how much is it now? I just 162.
162. So it's 150 and 12,000. So he's got to pay 12,000 in restitution, complete 250 hours of community service, and he agreed to an additional restitution of $150,000.
That can help pay for the deal with the city of Utica for the tax bills, I guess.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, right. No,
Hopefully a deal is put together on that, and it doesn't cost that much of an increase. Anyway, so that sentencing occurs. We still will wait, and this comes at a time when, right to the very end, Bruce Karam was saying, This is going to be.
I'm getting my job back.
I'm going to have my job back, and when I get my job back, wait till you see what happens."
Mm-hmm.
It is, I got to tell you, it's so kind of neat. The engineers are working on something here this morning on my board, and they're working on it as You know, you ever look at your computer and see your mouse going around like something happening? Oh, my God, somebody's in my computer.
Skynet.
Anyway, he's sentenced. We'll see what happens with the federal case with Lula Pola. And but I think people wanted the book to be thrown at them. And this is just based on the charges. This is probably fair.
Yeah, and I think the anecdotal or metaphoric book has been thrown, right? I mean, they have
I guess
a tarnishing of their reputations, respectively.
Ruined anything they're going to ever do going forward. Mike says, I'd like to see Bruce Karam, for his community service, have to pick up garbage on the outskirts of the Utica schools. Yeah, it would be. I think they could be really creative with the community service.
Yeah, like cleaning it up. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Cleaning up the school district. How ironic.
Over the weekend, of course, in Rome, a very sad funeral, and it's really always gives me the chills when I see the number of police officers who will come to support someone who has who's been killed in the line of duty. It's really something special.
Yeah, it was a great turnout from that standpoint. The church was packed. The room downstairs from the church was packed, and there was a lot of people on the outside that had gathered just to show their support. And even Governor Kathy Hochul was there, apparently. So
was Hochul there? Letitia James was definitely there.
Yeah, Hochul was there.
Yeah. Well, she should be. I know there was a lot of complaints that it was felt that she didn't lower the flags to half staff early enough, that it should have happened during the week, and that did not occur until Friday afternoon. Nonetheless, it is what it is. I don't know what is customary for that, to be honest with you, but I know there were a lot of people upset about it.
I think Maciel had explained it with the cop who was the New York City police officer who was killed down in New York City about a month ago. He had explained that. I think it's like 3 days prior to the laying of the rest or something.
Yeah, and so why wouldn't it have been on Thursday? I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk to that. Maybe we'll get another answer from Sheriff Maciel on that and get his take. Tanya Powers coming up in a few minutes. Where do we stand in the Trump hush money trial going forward in New York City? I believe they may be looking at opening arguments today.
Yeah, the jury selection happened pretty quick.
It was much quicker than I expected it to happen. On New York City, a New York State budget has been passed.
Hallelujah.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, including. Do you know that they have? I think they've passed. It's been passed that movie theaters can now serve cocktails. They already could serve beer and wine, but now they can. You could get your whiskey sour or
there you go. You get your drink
on scotch on the rocks or what have you.
You could get it. You could get your drink on there. I love it.
Although there are rules. I think of course, I think one of the rules is you can't serve drinks can't be served after the last movie rolls its credits. Okay. So that would be at the very end of the last movie.
That's the last call, so to speak.
That would be last call.
I remember I
wonder if somebody comes in and breaks up the movie and be like, hey, just letting you guys know it's last call.
Sorry to interrupt. But there's a movie theater down in downtown Disney. I don't know if it's still there or what the brand is. Maybe it's an AMC or whatever. But I remember I had a full meal and I got absolutely trashed. This is back when I was, younger and
watching a movie.
I blew my whole Disney paycheck. I went to the movies and had a nice fine dinner and cocktails and
we don't have that around here, but there are some. There are those. They've been around for quite some time.
I can't tell you I remember what the movie is.
But I don't think they could do beer. They could only do beer and wine in those movies.
Was Marquee Cinema doing beer and wine?
I don't think so. Although I've not been to the movies outside my living room in a long time.
There's definitely beer and wine and cocktails there, correct?
Marianne, in my living room? Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah. Marianne Buttonshaw and Brian Miller, both on today from the Assembly. Over the weekend, also huge, is they ended up passing the money, the huge amount of money for Ukraine. That passed. The Speaker of the House is being threatened to be ousted, but I don't think, although I think there were like 104 Republicans who voted against the aid to Ukraine. I don't know what's wrong with their heads. Because and maybe it's just we're too far down the road. Maybe there's no chance for Ukraine to win. But if Putin wins, who knows what could happen there? It could be very, very bad. Nonetheless, but it was Republican. That's I believe. So I believe our local congressman voted for the
aid. Yeah.
For the aid.
He's mentioned on the program, too, before, I think, that he's in favor.
That he supports it. He feels it's incredibly important that we do everything we can to stop Putin's advance. Nonetheless, it passed, but I don't think there are the votes to get rid of Speaker Johnson.
No, and I don't even believe that the issue with these two loonies.
Look who's leading. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene leading the charge.
Massey.
Give me a break.
I don't even think that their issue is the aid so much as that it didn't incorporate some sort of border security.
Well, ultimately, though, they're saying no aid until there's borders. Until there's more money put into border security. Right. They also could have passed that legislation that was out there that really was something that was originally put together by both Republicans and Democrats. That would have at least done something. Nonetheless, that didn't pass. So, but I don't think there are the votes to get rid of Johnson.
No.
So,
I think
we might see.
Although the Democrats may take the opportunity to get Hakeem Jeffries in there, I think that there's been a lot of talk that they would help save Johnson. But if something happened, I think they would love to watch the Republicans
squirm. I think they probably would. I
don't know about it.
Hope Free Money question of the day is coming up this morning. We'll get to that. Davey, this morning we're good morning, Davey. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, was that good morning or
no? I didn't have his mic up. I think this is the mic. Yeah.
Good morning.
Although
I thought it was on, and then I heard him go to say good morning and not.
Although for some reason, his mic says fade and go on the button and not on. That didn't used to be the case. I don't know why.
Are they still working on your board there?
I don't think so. Hi, Davey. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you're all right? I know there's been a lot of technical issues.
What's with the mojo?
He's lost the mojo.
I'm tired today.
You're tired, yeah. You were up late last night.
Watching a NASCAR race.
No, he had a NASCAR race and then his own flat tire.
No.
You didn't.
I had a wrestling pay-per-view last night.
A pay-per-view.
Oh.
How long does that? How long do you stay up for something like that?
Well, I went to a friend's house. I left there at 12 o'clock. I got home about 10 after 12, and then I stayed up and watched the media scum afterwards. All the wrestlers talking to go to sleep.
What do they call that? Media scum?
Yeah, the media scum.
Scum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scum or scrum?
Scum. So and then I never fell asleep until after 2. So.
Okay, so you were you're very tired.
Yeah.
All right. Well, try to stay awake.
Okay.
Do your best.
You want to come in here and freeze with us?
How much do we give away today potentially?
But I had a good weekend though.
You did? Okay, good. Well, that's a positive.
Yeah. Saturday was a phenomenal weekend. I went to a toy and comic fest in Syracuse.
Okay, all right.
And I got to meet a wrestler on Saturday afternoon.
Well, that was the highlight of your weekend. Right
sure
there.
was.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Who was the wrestler?
Danielle Monef. Her a.k.a. Summer Rae from the WWE.
Okay, Summer Rae.
I got a picture. I can show you.
Oh, I bet you do. Yeah. Oh, he's getting the picture. It's a signed photo. No, it's you and her. Wow. From here, she looks a little like Marjorie Taylor Greene from here. I don't know.
She's fighting for that border spending.
Yeah,
so
right.
Let's go with $100 today.
$100 today. Okay.
So she
Long
looks
way around
blonde
the
in that picture, but looks like in some of these pictures she's brunette. So does she go back and forth or?
Yeah, I guess.
Over the weekend also. So that was your weekend. The highlight of your weekend. The Comets. They let's see. They won Saturday. Did they lose Friday? And they lost Sunday. They had to sweep, and Laval had to lose all 3 games this weekend. There was no chance of that happening. The Comets season has come to an end. Another one, as Andrew said earlier, another one in the books.
And it's the final game that was called for Mr. Tom Coyne, no longer going to be the in-arena announcer.
Oh, I did not know that.
At least that's what the social media seemed to indicate.
And what is is he retiring?
I don't know.
Okay, wow.
According to the source that we both know that works there.
Okay, according to the source that we both know that works there.
Yeah, who used to work here?
Used to work? You at the Comets or at UTR?
No, at the Odd. That used to be a part of our staff here.
Okay, we won't say who that is, Jim Rondanelli.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a ceremony for Tom before the game. He is officially retiring. They gave him a jersey with an 87 on it.
Wow.
And then
what's the 87 signify?
Because that's when he started with the
Utica Devils.
Utica Devils.
So I got to say that that's a lot of that you're there for a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean,
and you got to be there before, you got to be there till the end. I mean, if you work the games, you're doing a lot of games. It's it kind of dictates your life
for the whole winter.
For the whole winter, yeah. So I could see, and then they go to playoffs. I mean, you could be announcing games until June. And he did the women, which had to be a treat for him, I would think. Maybe we'll get him on and we'll talk to him and see why the retirement.
He did the women's.
He did the USA. At the very least, he did the USA women's
I thought
games.
Maybe they would bring somebody in.
No, he was doing them. So that had to be a real feather in his cap, Davey.
Yeah, they had another PA announced and doing the other games.
But he did the Team USA games.
Yep.
That Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2024 inductees have been
excited for this.
How many are actually named rock and roll people?
Well, this year I think there's some key acts that are.
Oh, that's good.
Here are some classic rockers that will finally get in. Are you ready, Davey? Who are you excited about?
Foreigner
goes in.
Wow.
The real Foreigner, Cold as Ice Foreigner,
and Mary J. Blige.
Before they,
not
she's
so
going
much
on.
rock.
Not so rock. You mentioned her in front of Peter Frampton, who will be going in, and you're not going to believe
he wasn't in before. Wow,
that shocks
shocking.
me. Well, wait till you hear who's going in, and I believe it's shocking that he's not been in already.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he was in as part of his band, but not in as a soloist. Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, wow.
That's shocking,
He
right?
was never in?
No. Here is.
Wow.
I'll give you some audio in a second. He was never in. That is, to me, very shocking. I would have.
So
I would have thought he would have.
Is it because Black Sabbath is in? And
that's what I'm
never
thinking.
been?
I think he
Still,
probably
he had
went
quite
in.
the solo career.
Probably went in as a band member, but was not in as a soloist. I believe, I'm trying to pull up the audio here and make sure everything is the same. I am the host, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct.
And I've locked it in. Let's see if I should feed to audition too, right? Let's see if this works. Here we go. Here it is.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. You. Feel like I and be a jukebox hero.
Yeah. This is the real Foreigner right here. Versus all the ballad stuff. I want to know what love is.
With Lou Gramm as the lead singer.
Lou Gramm from Rochester, New York. Here are 5 more artists going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They include, see if you can guess the artists. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can guess. Here we go.
Do you believe in life after
That, of course, is
Madonna. No, it's
Madonna.
Cher. No,
That's
Cher,
exactly
Cher,
right.
Cher.
There's Cher.
Cool
in the gang.
You know we got to get it wrong.
Mary J. Blige. Davey loves her.
Can
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I
Lost for you, I'm so lost.
Dave Matthews going on to the Rock and Roll Hall of
He
Fame.
hasn't been in before? Wow.
No. Do you know who that the artist was before? Davey? Davey knows. That was
A Tribe Called
Quest. A Tribe Called Quest.
Are these
I've
just
never
the
heard of
nominees, or these are definitely people
No,
going
these are in. These are going in.
Can I kick it? Lost.
That was A Tribe Called Quest. Who is what band is that, Davey? I don't know anything about that band.
They're like a rap artist.
Oh, they are. Okay. Well,
You probably played them at a wedding on a vinyl.
I don't think so. I would have remembered that. I would have remembered that. Trump has two boys. It's Don Jr.
3, actually.
And you're right, Barron.
Barron and Eric.
How about Barron might be going to NYU? Is that like Trump got to be rolling in the grave that his future, the one he's going to be in someday?
I know.
He can't be okay with his son going to NYU. It's one of the most liberal universities, and oh yes,
What is he thinking?
it's in the city that's going after him.
Yeah.
It never sleeps until Trump is in jail.
My God.
I can't believe it. But what's the other one? So it's Don Jr., Barron, and
Eric.
Eric Trump. And Eric's wife, did you see that she's the former Fox News person, right? Isn't she
Yeah, and she still goes on. I think she's the vice chair of the RNC now.
Did you see she has an album out?
I didn't know.
Oh, no. I'll play it coming up in a little bit.
I'm sure it's not bad.
Oh, no, it's horrible. It's not bad.
Oh,
It's
boy.
really bad.
So she should stick to her day job then.
Taylor Swift also has a new album out.
It's a little more popular.
I got to tell you something. I had this really weird dream last night, and maybe this really happened. I think are there like 30 songs on the new Taylor Swift album? There are.
Yes, there are.
30
So
songs.
maybe this wasn't a dream. My wife last night was playing all the songs, and we were like, "Yep, that's going to be a hit. Yep, that's not going to be a hit."
30 songs?
Yeah, I felt like the album was really down, very low key down
Is she breaking up with Kelsey?
until the end. But 30 songs, so it had to be like a double album or something.
That's like when you go to a restaurant and the menu's too large.
It is a double album, by the way. The Tortured Poets Department, the anthology, includes a Kim Kardashian diss track called Thank You Al Me, or Thank You Amy, with the letters K-I and M capitalized. Listen to some of the lyrics on that one here.
Scream you Amy to the night sky as the blood was gushing. But I can't forget the way you made me heal. I don't think you've changed much. And so I changed your name and any real defining clues.
You know that's just going to probably sold like crazy.
Gosh.
Speaking of Trump, we were mentioning Barron and Eric and his wife's new amazing album, Don Jr., and then, of course, Donald Trump back in New York City again, and back as the trial continues in New York City. On the line right now is Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Tanya, good morning.
Hey, good morning. There you are.
So my apologies. It's new equipment, and while it's right in front of my face, I still struggle seeing that there's somebody on the phone line. And
it's literally right in front of his face.
Okay, so what do we know? What's happening today? What do we expect today?
Well, just one quick correction. Eric Trump's wife, Laura Trump, was a Fox News contributor.
Contributor.
We hired her in 2021 to be a contributor for the channel, and then I believe it was maybe like a year or so later that's when they, parted ways after he,
After he ran,
he was running again. So yeah, it was a contributor position, not like an anchor or something. But just wanted to clarify that.
I appreciate.
Now she is the co-chair of the Republican Party.
Well,
so
really, she's a new country artist. I don't know if you've heard the song yet, but or the album, it's something to be heard. I believe. Anyway, but of course, her father-in-law will be in court today once again in New York City.
Yes, this is opening statements today for his historic hush money trial. That is set to start at some point today. I think they've got a couple of rulings to get through first. The judge is going to probably rule on what prosecutors can bring up from the previous court cases from the former president. If he testifies in his own defense at the trial, they want to cross-examine him about the judgment of the gag order from the civil fraud trial, as well as the verdicts in the E. Jean Carroll lawsuit, that kind of stuff. So there's supposed to be a ruling on that, and then they'll get into opening arguments today.
Really, it is kind of interesting. The judges ruled this gag order that the former president not go after members of the court, go after potential witnesses, etc. But it doesn't seem like he's following it. And I feel like, what is the judge going to do? Is the judge going to throw? I mean, could you imagine if the judge were to say, you know what, this is a contempt of court, and you're going to spend the next 3 days in jail? That would be unprecedented, wouldn't it?
I mean, he told him in no uncertain terms last week when, all of jury selection got started, there will be no disruptive behavior in this court. And, if you do, then I will
put you in jail.
Take matters into my own hands and react accordingly. So, no, he's already laid down the rules of the whole thing. Again, this is a criminal trial. This is not a civil trial as the other ones have been. So things are a little bit more, I guess, not that the other ones weren't serious.
Yeah.
But this one is where, there's actual, potential like jail time on the line and things like that. This is why the judge was like, we're not putting up with any disruptions, storming out, outburst against the judge, anything like that. He's probably not going to take to that kindly.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what comes of all of it. And what is it like? Anytime there's a president in New York City, or even a former president, it always causes so many traffic jams and that sort of thing. But, here's a president who at one point was living in New York City, but now he has to be there. The motorcade comes through every single day in court. What's that like for traffic in the city?
I mean, as you can guess. Morning rush hour traffic is already, pretty much a mess.
Yeah.
It just, I guess makes it a lot worse. Thankfully, I'm usually on the radio at that time of the morning, so I don't have to deal with trying to, get around or cross a street even, because of course they block off, different routes, and you can't even cross the street at that point. You have to wait or be, get the high sign from the cops. It's like, okay, now it's time to go now. And everybody kind of hurries across. But yeah, it can be kind of a mess. We are accustomed to this, and we get really good practice every September when the UN is in town, because that just basically ties up the east side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
So
it's something you learn to deal with. There's no doubt about it. So, all right, Tanya, interesting. We'll be watching today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio.
She's usually the one that gives us the lowdown on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but there are more pressing matters, of course.
Today, apparently. Maybe we'll get her for that tomorrow. You can't gag Trump when Sleazy Cohen, the star witness, is not gagged. Well, not only is he not gagged, but he does like a TikTok podcast where he just rips on Trump, and he does it a couple times a week.
Yeah, he goes on various outlets as well and whatnot.
The problem, though, is Trump has the ability to say something about a witness, and it could dissuade the witness from agreeing to testify. That is, he does have that power. Right? Mm-hmm. His words certainly are far more valuable than I would say, and I think that's a pretty good estimate. His words are far more valuable than Cohen's. Would we agree with that? I think by far. Mike this morning, if you buy the Trump album, you get a 3-pack pillowcase set from MyPillow and 8 ounces of Noble Gold.
Hey, that's a good package there.
I think she's done. So this is Laura Trump, Lara Trump, right? And the song, I think she's doing a cover of Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down."
Okay. How apropos.
Let's just listen a little bit and see what we get.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
To me, I feel like I'm eating a burger at Killebrew.
Boy.
Won't be turned around.
I'm eating a burger at Killebrew, and it's karaoke night, folks.
From dragging me down, gonna stand my ground. And
honest to God, I think what really is going on is they sit around and they're like, we could put out anything and people would buy it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta admire their capitalistic spirit, but
anything.
Whoa.
Hey, Laura, why don't you sing a song?
It sounds like that
you sing
Friday
good,
girl.
You sing pretty good karaoke.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'll put out a song. I'll bet you it sells. And now a million seller, Laura Trump.
It will sell, but wow.
Yeah.
It's like that, what was it, Friday? That's what she kind of sounds like.
Megan, she should change the lyrics to auto-tune. Yeah. Well, you can kind of feel like there's a little auto-tune sound going on in there as well.
Well, they need to work at
but
it
with a bit of a country, twang there. Wow. All right. What else? We mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'll get into a little more on that. But Mary J. Blige, I guess we've reached the point, though. Davey loves her. I guess we've reached the point where they're saying it's not just rock or hard rock or rock and roll artists. It's anybody that's in the pop world or even country. I mean, Dolly Parton
they might
made
not
it
change
into
it
the
to
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The Great
or
Music
might
Hall of
make
Fame.
it in. Huh?
The Musical Hall of Fame.
I think they should, yeah. A school in Australia broke the world record for firing confetti cannons at the same time. 2013, all at once.
How exciting.
That's the dumbest thing. Why wouldn't you do 2024?
Yeah.
Because the year is 2024.
Well, they meant to do it last year.
Huh?
They meant to do it last year.
They meant to do it last year. No, 2013.
Oh, yeah. So they meant to do it
11 years ago. Kentucky is having trouble with their real IDs. You get a real ID, you get to supposedly skip the lines. Do you have a time you want me to come in?
I'm going to give it to you right now.
You get to skip the lines. Kentucky is having a problem. Travelers are getting hassled by TSA agents because their authentication technology is having trouble verifying people's identities. Here is Kelly Godwin talking about all the trouble she had traveling with her relatively new real ID. Here we go.
Really struggled getting it to process my photo. And she pulled it back out and she's like, how old is this driver's license? And I said, I just got it in October. She's like, it's all washed out. I can't see anything. He made me remove my hat. He had me take my glasses off. He asked me to change my smile and the way I was looking. He couldn't get it to verify. So we had to get a supervisor involved at that point.
We were traveling once with my father-in-law and he was wearing shorts. And he had to go into the whole full put your hands in the air, take your belt off. And he said, if I take my belt off, and I put my hands in the air, my shorts are going to drop to the floor. And they're like, please, will you please just follow what we tell you? Follow the instructions. He said, I'm telling you, if I raise my hands, I'm holding my pants up. If I raise my hands, my pants will fall right. and they made him put his hands up, and his shorts went right to the floor.
Oh my God!
True story. And I think they enjoyed it. I think that's what goes on there. I think the TSA is just screwing around.
They like to torture
with us.
people. Okay.
They're just screwing around with us. And have you ever had your mouth washed out with soap? A new poll shows that only 12% of people say they actually had their mouth washed out with soap by their parents. Do you? Have you ever
never had it?
Your mouth washed out with soap? I'll give you one more quick story. Joe Lode used to tell a story. If the kids ever did anything wrong, if they mouthed back improperly, his grandmother would take a pin, pull their tongue out, and stick them with a pin.
Oh, God.
You did not swear in that household, let me tell you. All right, I got a break here. We're coming right back at WIBX. News is next.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how.
Israel's head of intelligence resigns. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Major General Aron Haliva stepping down for failing to prevent last year's Hamas terror attack that triggered the war. Senate first okayed weeks ago, giving military aid to Israel and Taiwan. $61 of the $95 billion of total aid will go to Ukraine to help battle Russia's invasion. Some Republicans voted against that, saying we've given Ukraine enough. But GOP Congressman Darrell Issa voted for that assistance, telling Fox we have to help Ukraine defeat Russia.
There aren't enough people who remember the Cold War and why we fought it.
Some conservatives are so upset, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, they hope to oust House Speaker Mike Johnson for even allowing that vote, months after Speaker McCarthy was ousted for working with Democrats.
Congresswoman Greene has not invoked her motion to vacate Speaker Mike Johnson's office yet, but is clear on her feeling.
This is a speakership that is completely over with.
On Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, she said the House vote put Ukraine's needs ahead of the southern border. In her mind, it's time for another change in leadership, and it's the Speaker who should act first.
To resign and allow us to move forward in a controlled process. If he doesn't do so, he will be vacated.
The House is in recess this week. Congresswoman Greene says she hopes members will discuss her motion in their districts. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising. After all the recent selling, the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 have gone down 6 trading days in a row. The Dow rose slightly last week, however. In the NBA playoffs, no Giannis Antetokounmpo. No problem. For Milwaukee, they have Damian Lillard.
Off balance. He's got it! And the foul! Unstoppable!
Lillard scored all 35 of his points in the first half, leading the Bucks past the Indiana Pacers 109-94 on TNT in Game 1. 3 other home teams also won playoff series openers: Boston, Oklahoma City, and the LA Clippers. Florida, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and the New York Rangers won their NHL playoff series opening games. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminia. Right now, it is 34 degrees under mostly clear skies. Oh my goodness, why is it still so cold? But there is light at the end of the tunnel and warmth at the end of the tunnel. Your full forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A funeral service is taking place today for a member of the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department who died in the line of duty. A memorial for Lieutenant Michael Husak is slated for 11 a.m. at the State Expo Center on the property of the New York State Fairgrounds. Husak and Syracuse police officer Michael Jensen died after being shot in Salina last Sunday. The suspect, 33-year-old Christopher Murphy, was killed in a shootout with law enforcement. Another scary moment for Syracuse police yesterday. They're expected to release more information today on a standoff that lasted more than 12 hours. Officers surrounded a residence on Caleb Ave yesterday after getting a report of a suspicious individual with a gun. A shelter-in-place order was put into effect for the surrounding areas while police tried to get a man who went inside of a house to surrender. He eventually did so peacefully, and no injuries were reported. Those who are worried about being able to put food on the table are being invited to attend an event taking place in Utica today. A drive-through free food giveaway is scheduled to run from 2 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. at the Johnson Park Center Food Pantry on West Street. Among the items that'll be available are chicken, cheese, pasta, fruit, and veggies. Anyone who does not have a vehicle can get food tomorrow at the pantry between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. The pain at the pump just keeps getting worse for drivers across central New York as gas prices continue to rise. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is $3.60. That's up 11 cents in just the last week. It is also 24 cents higher than it was 1 month ago. Right now, the state average is $3.69 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.67.
I paid $3.34 in Syracuse yesterday.
Yeah, well,
but there was a gas station just down the street that was $3.57. So $3.34 is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you got to just drive, drive around.
Based on where we are right now. So.
And finally, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will not attend the Met Gala. TMZ reports the pop superstar and NFL player were invited individually to the event, but both RSVP'd no. Swift seems to have an Eras Tour conflict with the May 6th event. She'll be getting back on the road to Paris after the much-anticipated release of her album, The Tortured Poets Department. Swift and Travis have yet to walk on a red carpet together at any event. If you care. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we can see that we'll see sunny skies, highs in the low 50s, clear skies overnight, bring temperatures down to about freezing. Then we'll see an increase in clouds tomorrow, but highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Looking ahead to the weekend, we may be back up near 70 by that time. So that's your warmth at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. It's coming. Just got to stay patient. 34 now under sunny skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Well, the New York Yankees, they were able to hold on and win after almost giving it up. 5-4 the final score in the rubber match. Their series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Luis Gil earned his first win of the season after striking out 9 batters and allowing an unearned run over 5 2/3 innings. New York is leading the AL East at 15-7. They'll continue their homestand when they host the Oakland Athletics for a 4-game set that begins this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Meanwhile, the Mets were unable to complete the series sweep after being blown out by the Dodgers 10-0 in their finale. Adrian Hauser suffered his second loss of the season after allowing 8 runs on 7 hits over 4 innings of work. New York is now third in the NL East at 12-9 and will visit the San Francisco Giants for a 3-game set that begins tonight at Oracle Park. You know that the Dodgers spent all this money on Ohtani. Their record's 13-11. Not good. Their record at home 9-8, away 4-3.
Well, if the Mets could have swept them, they'd be at 500, but
yeah,
that didn't happen yesterday.
And so, the Dodgers not looking too good, but they're in a pretty weak division, so it looks like, and of course, there's still a lot of baseball left. I just find it ironic with all that money spent. They're barely over 500. But I will say this, Shohei Ohtani's 2-run blast in the 3rd inning of the Dodgers' 10-0 win over the Mets on Sunday was not a typical home run. The homer was the 176th of Ohtani's big league career, moving him past former Yankees star Hideki Matsui for most homers by a Japanese-born Major League Baseball player. Ohtani has hit the ground running in his first season with the Dodgers. In 24 games, the DH is hitting .368 with 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases.
So 2 things real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Andrew.
No, go right ahead.
I just want to say
you.
Saturday, great pregame for John Sterling for the Yankees. Did it to me?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They honored him with an 80-inch television, I believe.
Yeah.
Because that was his big thing is, I want to watch the games. I'm just sick of calling them, so I just want to watch them. And so they gave me an 80-inch television.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
That's funny.
So they had a video message from Bernie Williams, Al Capitan, Derek Jeter, and Paul O'Neill, and Tino Martinez was on the field and helped them present a couple.
Were those John Sterling's kids that were all on the field
Yes,
with him?
he has
okay.
2 twin daughters and then 2 sons.
Okay.
But another news story. Remember Malik Brown from Syracuse basketball this year? He entered the transfer portal.
Yes.
Guess where he's going to go play?
Duke.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. I was at Trader Joe's last night because we had to run out to the airport, and on our way back, my wife likes to stop there. I swear there was a Syracuse player. He was dressed in all Syracuse gear.
Was he signing autographs?
He was not signing autographs, but he was
shopping.
No, I swear. First of all, he's got quite like a huge tattoo on his forearm. Look it up, Davey. I might be able to identify him.
Maybe
the
it was
problem
Chris
is
Bell.
The problem is you don't know who's who
Yeah.
right now on that team. But
They're
anyway,
all coming in and out.
he was helping an old lady grab an item from the top shelf. And I mean, listen, that top shelf could have been much higher. I mean, he clearly was an SU basketball player.
So he was doing good. That's
He
pretty
was doing
awesome.
a good deed. He was doing a really good deed.
Nobody was watching.
And then I was like, hey, over here, I can't reach this either. Some of those shelves are high.
Oh, yeah.
But he had no problem. It's almost like he had to bend down to pick up something from the top shelf. It wasn't quite that bad, but
And then this is Fred and Clinton delivering the final sports story of the day with his comment on the app. Of the hour, I should say. The Comets were eliminated from the Calder Cup playoffs Friday night, even before the end of the game against Syracuse. As soon as Belleville defeated Laval,
that was it.
That gave them 80 points and the last playoff spot in the Northern Division. The maximum the Comets could get was 79 if they had won all 3 games of the weekend. So unfortunately, the Comets season has come to an end.
As Davey reported on Friday, it was really we could not control our own destiny. If Laval won one of the 3 games of their 3 games over the what was that?
Belleville.
So it's Belleville won, not Laval.
They beat Laval.
Oh, okay. Belleville beat Laval. Okay. So if Belleville won one of their 3 games, I've been saying Laval for some reason, and that would be all over with. Correct. And Laval was already in the playoffs, right? So they had nothing to play for. Comets out. Well, listen, they had a rough start to the season. They played much better second half.
They did, but there's always next year, as the saying goes.
Tom, you're 20 minutes late, Bill. No, not really. We were a little late this morning because we were having some issues with some technical issues. But 20 minutes? No. Lighting looks much better today in the studio, says Joey. Well, it does look a little bit better today. Maybe this is a better way to do it. Although my wife says the glare off the top of my head, there's nothing I can do about it. And then John says, why are the gas prices, why have they gone up? I haven't seen anything as of yet. Although I think he's being sarcastic. What is the price here right now? Anybody see a gas price here? $3.40, something like that?
Honestly, I'm at a point I'm not really paying attention.
Andrew
to it.
is making so much money as a real estate agent
it's not
that he doesn't even look at the gas prices anymore.
No, it's not so much that as it is what it is, and to pay attention to it is really just depressing.
Again, he's making Davey so much money he doesn't even pay attention.
Speaking of real estate,
he uses horse and buggy to go to his open houses.
That's okay.
Speaking of real estate, it was a phenomenal 3rd episode of Sold, so congrats on that.
That is and you can watch that if you missed it over the weekend.
A lot of people excited about the Sky Dome segment.
Oh, that's cool. There was a Sky Dome segment in there, and that's a piece that I had produced for Sky Dome, which is just a phenomenal facility that is there's only one of them. There's nothing like it around the country. So for all of the research that's going on, and Bill Monjo during the Sold episode over the weekend made a very good point with what just recently happened in Israel. It kind of gives us an idea of the importance of what's going on at the drone test site.
Yes.
And that is the number of drones that were flown in to attack Israel was enormous. So not only are we researching stuff that is to be used for retail and for businesses and industry around the country and around the world, but also for the military as well. It's all happening out there. And if you want to watch Sold in upstate New York, it's a show about real estate, homes, the value of homes. And when you see business improving, things that are happening in the area, it means people are moving to the area to buy homes. And that's a really big deal. So you can check it out. Sold in upstate New York. It's available on YouTube as we speak. Just search for it, and it's up there. Got a break. We're coming right back. This hour, Hobica's free money question of the day. It's worth $100.
$100
to start off the week. And also, Marianne Buttonshawn, Assemblywoman, on the budget, which finally has passed, all coming up on WIBX.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/sound to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/sound and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hi, this is Tom Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We're expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is Tall Pines Insurance in Boonville. They're another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy. That fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here's Greg Lee from the newest Gates Cole location, Tall Pines Insurance in Boonville.
The reason why I got into insurance was I wanted to allow my father the opportunity to retire and give back to my community. You know, we had the Boonville fire that wiped out a large area down here for us a few years ago, and as we showed up at the fire, you know, we were right there ground zero with our insureds, made sure that they were taken care of quickly. You know, we were able to get people the money that they needed to cover their expenses from that loss.
For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency, Gates Cole Insurance, proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Hey, I want to talk about New York Sash for a moment, and this is something you probably have not heard of. A window company that offers a lifetime glass breakage warranty on every single window they install. If you're a New York Sash customer, you know this. This is old hat. You know. We're talking about New York Sash and their glass warranty. If any New York Sash window breaks at any time for any reason, they will fix it for free. If a rock gets thrown by a lawnmower, what do? They'll fix it for free. If a kid is playing hockey and the puck smashes the window, New York Sash will fix it for free. If anything breaks the window, they will fix it for free. No deductible, no trip charge, no nonsense, just free. Forever. That's New York Sash's guarantee. New York Sash in Whitesboro, their showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard, or you can check them out at NewYorkSash.com. Right now offering 15% off windows, doors, or baths. So stop in or find them online today.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good morning, and in studio right now is Assemblywoman Marianne Baden-Shawn, and after a long weekend. You did get to come home on Sunday, right? Is that the case? You guys were done Saturday night?
Yes.
Yeah.
We finished up Saturday.
So you got to come back on Sunday. Congratulations. There is a budget. Is it good? What do you think?
Well, first, I just I want to extend my sympathies to the Jensen Smullen family and the Husak family. As today, I know firefighters from the Utica Fire Department will be there, as they were part of the bunk-in program at Moyer's Corner.
Oh, okay.
And Lieutenant Husak was a instructor for many of them, so it's a tough day all around. But
yeah, because terrible. In addition to his role,
he was also a volunteer firefighter.
Right, yes.
Yeah. So he clearly we came home for the funeral, the senator and I, obviously, and the budget was finished up later in the day.
Okay.
So
nice.
A lot of travel for you yesterday or Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that more importantly, I know the budget is a priority, but I just wanted to extend that to all the families. But
so, and that is, so the governor was there, and Letitia James, I believe, was there as well on Saturday. Do you know about the, there were people complaining that by Friday, still on Friday morning, the flags had not been ordered at half staff. And then it did happen later on in the day. What is the protocol on that? And if it is 2 or 3 days before the funeral, why did it take so long? Do you have any idea?
When I contacted the governor's office.
So you had calls on this?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And more importantly, their response to me was that those flags need to wait till the day of the funeral to be at half-mast. So that's what the answer was to me, that they were going to do it on Saturday.
Huh.
I don't know.
Although it did seem that it happened on Friday. And Andrew, you say Sheriff Mashel told us that traditionally.
Well, that's what I thought. Maybe it was the day of the funeral, but
okay,
I may be mistaken on that.
All right.
I know the county executive much earlier, just for all of
the
respect and dignity that is needed.
And you know the amazing, it's not the horrific part of this is. Not one, but 2 police officers were killed. When have we ever seen that before?
No.
I mean, that is what's... Yeah, I think that we've kind of glossed over this just a little bit. I realize it's out of town. It turns out we had a local tie. But the fact that 2 officers were killed in the same altercation, that is just something you normally don't see.
And to your point, yes. I mean, it clearly... there has to be further discussion, but right now it's time for the family. I mean, his mom, a teacher, his uncle, part of the school district, his other aunt, a teacher. I mean, it was just a family that was had provided so much guidance and wisdom in Rome, and a young man that put a smile on everyone's face.
Yeah, they said he was a goofball. That's how they actually They described it. Listen, did you, because I got to say, if I were an assembly person, I could not take the me out of me. And if the governor's aide said to me, well, we do it on the day of, I would have had to have responded by saying, well, that's stupid. How did you respond to that?
I asked, is that standard protocol?
Okay.
Because I clearly wanted to understand where the rationale was coming from.
Yeah, where's that coming from?
Because folks had reached out to our office.
Yeah, people were livid on Friday. I was getting some really angry
there's
messages.
Nothing wrong with doing it, really after the incident happened, to remember and acknowledge the service given. I mean, the fact that there's even has to be a rule or some sort of protocol, just do it.
Right.
Well, I do. I think maybe you're right, Andrew, only in that this was such an unprecedented situation.
Yes.
But, I understand, while I do understand procedure and there are rules to things, but this just seemed like, okay, it is what it is. Okay, let's talk about the budget.
Yeah. Well,
first of all, cocktail for you at the movies. That's
you voted yes for that, or?
No. I mean, I think that. As I have stated before, what we have is a system that we collect information from everyone in the community of how they'd like me to vote. That one wasn't a big deal. You know, it was a matter of...
They're already doing beer and wine. It's already okay for beer and wine. Why not, a whiskey sour?
Well, and I think that I always feel that there's a diversion. Let's just talk about the real important things versus, okay, let's get everyone off on something that... And I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent.
So you feel this was a diversion?
Well, I think there's quite a bit of diversion. You know,
I got to tell you, I feel like the school aid is a big one that they probably don't want everybody paying attention to. But at the end of the day, the schools, it looked like money was going to be taken away, and the way I had it described to me was, it's like telling your employees, you're all getting a 10% raise. And then telling them, actually, you're going to lose 10%. But then after hard negotiation, you come back and say, all right, you won't lose 10%. We're going to keep it at 0. Right. And that's really what happened here. So, but these schools are, all of that money they were heavy with from COVID is gone.
Exactly.
And now, I hate to say, but my father-in-law, Rick Timms, was saying this 2 years ago, be careful what you do with that money because we don't know what the state is going to do next. And the bomb the hammer has dropped, I think.
And it clearly, your father-in-law is 100% correct, and he told us. He's an expert in that area. He met with the superintendents. He met with us, the senator and I, and said, this is not going to last forever. We need to make sure we're doing something to plan. But
we got a brand new turf. We have a brand new football field, soccer, turf for lacrosse. But unfortunately, we're going to have to lay off 7 teachers.
Right.
I mean, look at what's going on in Rome right now.
Yes. And that is an excellent example that you bring. I mean, Utica has identified they're facing the challenges also.
Right.
Last week.
Utica has a much larger fund balance, though. I think they're in a little better shape, but how, that money can go very quickly.
And I think that, I mean, as you look at it from your perspective, I always look at the planning aspect. And if you just talk about your personal life of how you financially plan.
Right.
And you will see in this budget, there's money for curriculum that talks about fiscal responsibility for our students. And I'm thinking, well, maybe we should sit and listen to that a little bit.
Yeah.
The commissioner of education was to come last week. The senator had set it up and invited not only all of us legislators, but the superintendent of school, but we were still in budget, so it had to be postponed.
Okay.
But she needs to hear from this area, as she has in the past. But before we met with her in Albany, and now we said it's time for you to come to the Mohawk Valley.
What else concerns you out of this budget?
Well, the CHIPS funding, again, remained at a level that many of the highway superintendents are realistic individuals and felt it didn't want cuts, but was looking for this is what we need to do in the future. So that remained at a level that is something that is concerning, but I think that many are happy with. Nescentia is a long-term care provider within our community and has requested parity. When we're talking about parity in the sense of downstate rates at $1,400 and our rates at about $200, that's not where we needed it. So finally, that went into the budget to help to an extent. The 3.2 COLA for our healthcare providers is a calculation that comes up to about 2.84. But they keep telling me, no, it's 3.2. But, I mean, when you do the math. It's,
right.
So it's close, but it's not where they wanted it to be. I think the intermediate folks that we talk about that are kind of the middle folks for our folks that receive care as developmental disabilities and onset. We have one intermediary that will take over for well over 700 across the state. I mean, it's as you we're sitting here and you had remodeled in here, you had to leave,
Right.
And it's just a given when you're going from so many 700 to 1. how's it going to happen
right.
without hurting the consumer?
Yeah.
So the challenge is, how will this be put forward? If we talk about, I'm just trying to think of so many different areas that.
Anything that you, what can you take away? We'll take one thing and wrap it up. But what is a takeaway that you're pleased with? That something that needed to be done that was taken care of, or is it nothing?
No. I mean, I have to say that money doesn't grow on trees.
Right.
And there has to be a balance. And when folks come to my office and say, I need, they're very passionate. And you're saying, yeah, it makes sense. But in reality, we can't do everything.
Right.
So I think the most difficult aspect is if we realistically don't consider what the costs are. The most negative is the reimbursement for migrants that will go to primarily downstate.
A lot of money, yeah. And what do you do?
Right. And we did it right. The county executive stated we can't handle it. We're not going to have it.
Yeah.
So there's no reimbursement for us. I know we had effects. I mean, whether we had effects that individuals that weren't migrants came to this area, knowing that
just homeless people.
So we all had effects.
Yeah.
And now I have to fight for that reimbursement that is much needed.
Last question in Rome. They're at a pretty large shortfall. In the past, this would be probably prior to you, because since you've been in, COVID hit, and all of a sudden we had all of this money, and we went through all the difficulties of COVID. But is there a chance to come in and rescue Rome?
Well, in fact, the first year I came in, that was the concern.
Okay.
So if you recall, Rome had this challenge. This was the budget money that was tied with bail reform.
Okay.
So it was about making sure our schools were funded, and clearly that issue occurred. Is there a process of bailing out? I think it's more of what is their plan and what do they need from the state. I'd like to hear from them first before we say.
Right. So no one has reached out to you saying, hey, we have a $1 million shortfall here. We're going to have to lay off teachers. Is there any way that the state can help?
No, it's been brought, most definitely.
Okay.
I have heard, but more importantly is now they're in transition of superintendents.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where we're looking at. Tell us what you really need. Let's take a look at what you're assessed, and why do you consider laying off teachers versus possibly
there are other places that can be cut. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're on that.
Yes.
All right, Andrew.
Of course, I actually knew that Lance and Lee would be piping up this morning, or piping in. Please thank Marianne for her work on the new budget. Please ask her how frustrating it is to hear the constant complaining from local Republicans about everything. Then they seem to be the first ones to hop in a photo shoot for something good that she brings to the area.
Well, thank you. But I feel that my job is to represent everyone in the community, not concerned with their party, but I do appreciate the positivism, and I'll continue. I did mobile office hours at the Giotto Center. Mental health was all the discussion was, and the concerns of what are we going to do. So there is funding in the budget. There's capital funding for reuse.
Okay. And that Giotto Center, by the way, is a great addition to the arterial over there.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah. Looks
and
good.
then Sheriff Mayfield did finally get back to me. He said, typically the day of death of the police officer until midnight, the day of the interment.
Yeah, it shocks me that this wasn't done earlier. I mean, and that's their protocol. I don't seem to, in history, it doesn't seem like that was the case.
No, and like I said,
not good.
When they initially had said that's our protocol.
And they said that, but I think the flags went half-staff Friday afternoon. It's almost like you alerted them, and they're like, oh, we forgot all about this or something.
Well, I think I was respectful, but I can't really say I was polite.
Yeah, good for you.
So.
And Steve Spurbeck, good morning, Marianne. Best assembly person the area has had.
We miss him.
Complimenting you as well.
I know, he's enjoying himself down south.
All right, we'll speak with Brian Miller coming up next hour as well. And Marianne, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Coming up, Hobica's free money question of the day. And Davey, this morning we're looking at $100, and you're looking for caller number what? Sixth caller right now through the lines, 315-736-0186. Caller number 6 right now, your chance to win from Hobica and WIBX.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF-certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Hey folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text HEDGE to 989898. That's HEDGE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. Hey, you could even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines. Or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Get ready. It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, and these deals won't last long. Test drive the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4x4. Lease it for $489 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or take advantage of the purchase offer with a $6,000 rebate or rates as low as 0.9%. Or the 2024 Equinox LS all-wheel drive. Lease it for only $359 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or purchase it with a $2,000 rebate and rates as low as 1.9%. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevy. Customers must qualify top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offer on select models. Lease offer must have select model current lease through GM Financial. Finance offer must have 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. See salesperson for details. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2024. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer, or at StevePawneeChevy.com.
Jack and Amy saw a commercial where you could pick the number on each side of the bed and make it soft and firm. They went to the National store and tried it, but before they bought, they compared at Mattress Express the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort. They were thrilled that ours had 45 individual settings on each side from super soft to super firm. They loved the fact that ours had a reversible cover, cool for summer, warm for winter. They loved the fact that ours had a 25-year industry-leading warranty, and they really loved the price. Jack worked the trades his whole life. He liked his side firm. He was a 38. Elevated his head and feet, put the massage on low. He said that was perfect. Amy liked her side quite softer. She was a 24. Elevated her head a little less, her feet a little higher, and she liked the massage on high. They loved the fact that we were picking up the sales tax for them right now, and they qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down. Before you buy one of these national beds anywhere, just compare at Mattress Express.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
right, good morning, and it is time for Hobica's free money question of the day. It's Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600. How do you stop something, Andrew, if you don't want it to play anymore? Oh, you just did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was very nice. How did you do that?
I just clicked it.
Okay, good. All right.
Or just hit it again.
I worry like all of a sudden I click something and a commercial break starts up. Then we're screwed.
Still getting used to the digs.
Yeah, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. Call them for your legal needs, 315-724-1600. Also, Hobica gives us advice on which button to push. He's really good at that, apparently.
He pushes buttons himself, and
All
sometimes his buttons get pushed.
Davey, we got a caller. Yes, no, maybe. Who do we have? Oh, hold on. This button. Speaking of buttons.
We got a caller.
And it is?
Ken from Schuyler.
Ken and Schuyler. Okay, cool. Ken, good morning. Thanks for coming on the radio. Good morning to you. Hi, Ken. Can you hear us?
Yes, got you now.
Got you now. What's going on today, Ken?
Oh, not too much. Retired, staying home.
Nice.
Trying to take care of things.
Nice.
Taking care of business.
Okay, let's give you the deal. You're going to have exactly 7 seconds to answer the question. And here we go with your question. The new, and I know you're a huge fan, the new Taylor Swift album is out. It's called
Swiftie.
Tortured Poets Department is the name of her brand new double album. That's really exciting. So here's your question. What was the name of her last album? Ready, go.
I got no idea.
You're right. It was called I Got No Idea. No idea. Yeah. Actually, it was called Midnights. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? We will give you the free money. What's it called again?
The food and fun card.
Food and fun card.
All-in-one food and fun card.
It's a $25 gift card good at Nexus at the Adirondack Bank Center and at Taylor and the Cook or Aquavino, Babes, Cookies, Q, and Creamer. It's a $25 gift card. And Davey is going to hook you up, Ken. Enjoy retirement today, all right?
Great, thank you.
All right, stand by. Davey, he gets the gift card. And yes, I'll do that.
Give him the gift.
For you. Yeah, so this album that, you talk about, we mentioned that Laura Trump has a new album out.
Yeah, or is it a single?
I could only find the single, but I think there's an album out.
Okay.
I think that there are other songs. I can't find them on iTunes, but I was watching a news report the other day, and they were playing more than one song off the album. But she does a cover of, I got to tell you, she does a cover of Tom Petty that I Won't Back Down.
It's right here, the album.
Oh, you do have it.
It's Anything Is Possible.
Okay. Because I want to play some clips from
there's
it.
only one song on it, though.
Yeah, they're only releasing.
This is a pop hit here. This is a pop single.
Can you play it?
If I had the attachment.
You cannot play it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Taylor Swift's new album is out. Everybody's all about that, and then all of a sudden you see.
This.
Let's see. Oh, that's the one I want. What's this called?
This is called Anything Is Possible.
Okay, that might be the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
You're spelling it L-A-R-A.
L-A-R-A.
Talking to that little girl.
I got it. Here it is.
Riding on the Pegasus. Tell her everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause even when it's getting hard in this hurricane life, you still gotta spread your wings and fly. So
yeah.
Don't think, just jump. You can't give up. Know that
I'll have a whiskey sour. Whiskey sour. Love karaoke. Love it.
anything is possible.
Oh my God!
I thought originals weren't allowed at karaoke.
This is so bad. Is it just me?
No.
So I realized that I saw a clip over the weekend, and someone, I don't know who it was, somebody had taken out onto the street, one of the late shows, had gone out onto the street, and they said, did you know that Taylor Swift has a new album out? Oh, well, we're going to give you an exclusive listen to it. Tell us what you think.
And it was that.
And they began playing this.
Have faith, believe, just
all of these people out on the street were like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like her. This is her new album? Oh, yeah, this is the new Taylor Swift album. And they're like, I think did she heard her voice? Is there some, I mean, without knowing who it was, because if you can't say it's Laura Trump, because if you're not a Trump supporter, you would be like, that is terrible, it's garbage.
Yeah.
But they thought it was, they didn't know who it was, and at one point thought it was Taylor Swift, and thought something had happened to her.
It sounds a lot like, I won't say it.
Say it.
No.
Oh, come on.
It's a similar style of a local artist who's the head of a band that has to do with a medical professional. That's all.
Oh, you think it sounds like Donna Ray?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right.
Their voice sounds very
a little
similar.
bit similar.
give up. Know that anything is possible.
Why? I just ask why. Why?
Faith, believe, just trust, you'll see.
I just can't. I do hear the similarity, though. I'm with you, Andrew.
Yes.
I hear a slight similarity there.
She may make more money on that single than you and I can.
Oh, and that's the whole thing. People will buy that. People are going to buy it. And remember, I just contributed by playing it. I just have contributed. And everybody who plays it is going to contribute because you make money just off Apple Play, or whatever it's called. So they're off iTunes. So you're contributing to the whole thing. Speaking of music, yes, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced, and I didn't realize, but Jimmy Buffett also made it in. I'm very surprised.
He wasn't in before. I'm more surprised by the fact that these nominees have not been in yet.
Every year, it shocks me the artists who have not been in, who have not made it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cher should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I realize she's more pop music, but she should have been in. Kool and the Gang probably should have been in.
Get down tonight.
And it shocks me that the Dave Matthews Band is just getting in.
That is incredible. Maybe because I look at them as still a younger band.
But worse than that,
a newer band.
Peter Frampton, Foreigner, and Ozzy Osbourne are just getting in. And this is the I'm sure Ozzy Osbourne is in with Black Sabbath, but as a solo artist, he was enormous. How does he not get in? I don't know how it happens. Let me break and we'll come back. I got a bunch more to squeeze in here. Also, Brian Miller, Assemblyman Brian Miller, his take. I will tell you, I was quite surprised with Marianne Buttonshawn. She is not enthused and does feel, even said to us afterwards, you would have been shocked at seeing the things that they wanted to be put in this budget.
Ooh, scary.
That we had to say no to. And a lot of that stuff comes from downstate, a completely different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these people I just think are nuts. They've made it to the assembly, and they're bold, and they're willing to say, hey, let's do this, A, B, and C, and it's just crazy stuff. You think bail reform is crazy. The stuff that they're proposing is out there. We'll speak with Brian Miller about that coming up in a bit as well on WIBX.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1907 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1907p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1907 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1907 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand.
To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077.
Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order.
Call 1-800-973-3077 now
to secure your 1907p $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out.
That's 1-800-973-3077.
It's the All Abuzz sales event at Destination Kia of Utica.
And our general manager, Rich Artigiani, is making deals.
That's right. Let me wow you with a deal on a new Kia.
Like affordable all-wheel drives. Lease a new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive for just $428 a month for 36 months.
And that's with 0 down, 0 due at inception, and sales tax included.
For a buzzin' deal on a new Kia, come see me today.
Now that's kooky.
It's the All Abuzz sales event with deals on over 400 new Kias in one location.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive. Stock number 24T0442. MSRP $30,775. 36 months. 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due on inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax. And $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 4/30/2024.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1907 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1907p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1907 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1907 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand.
To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077.
Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order.
Call 1-800-973-3077 now
to secure your 1907p $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out.
That's 1-800-973-3077.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, it's Steve Pawnee Mazda. The Move to Mazda sales event is underway. Ricky Z says, come in and drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport model for only $275 a month or a 36-month lease. Or save with low APR financing of 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, or 3.9% on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See the dealership for details. As Ricky says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. Steve Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Yesterday, I was just taking a moment to clean out my my garage.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sweeping the garage floor. And you know with concrete, you can just keep sweeping till forever.
Yeah, and
you're
it'll
always
still
going to
be
get
dust
stuff. You're
or
still going to
dirt.
bring
Yeah.
up something.
Yeah.
Dust or whatever. Finally, I pulled out my super powerful leaf blower. Just blew all the crap right out of the garage.
I got to tell you, those leaf blowers, sometimes they do more harm than good. I'm not even going to lie.
What do you mean?
Like in the standpoint of, like from the standpoint that, you know, you blow one area and you dirty up another.
Well, it can.
Or
yeah.
it
You have
redirects
to-
the leaves to another part of the...
You have to know how to use it. I will tell you the one that we have has a it's almost like a throttle.
Mhm.
So it's not an on. Usually it's like medium,
Right, yeah,
low,
we've got
medium,
that too.
high.
The DeWalt.
This actually goes low, so you can just blow lightly
Mhm.
as to maybe not correct.
Yeah.
And it's like a throttle. So it's, yeah. Anyway, somewhere in the neighborhood that you live is that one person, probably a guy who has a car that's so loud that it annoys everybody in a 1 mile radius. Recently, there was actually a study on this. I don't know who pays for these social studies, but they do exist. Julie Aitken-Shermer is a professor of psychology at Western University in London, Ontario. And she was so inspired. What inspired her? She actually had a neighbor who had a loud car. She did an actual study. Her study consisted of 519 undergrad students, 289 of which were men, and asked them if they believed their car was an extension of themselves and if loud cars with muffler modifications were cool. Her results found that those who were into the whole loud car thing were predominantly young men with propensities for sadism and psychotherapy and need of psychotherapy, which would explain the callous disregard for other people's feelings and reactions and why they get a kick out of seeing other people startled with their freaking loud vehicles.
Yeah, I don't. I've never really been a fan of that. A lot of that happens with motorcycles too.
I don't think I've ever been one of motorcycles as well. Same thing. Now, I do like the sound when you're driving a standard, like a stick shift. The sound when you really take off. I mean, I guess I kind of like that.
Well, and there's the difference between somebody who's got a loud vehicle and they're proud of it, that, you know, like when you start it up, it has a nice roar and a nice kind of a rumble to it.
But the loud,
the ones that you know, are being, you know, they remove, what is it? You can remove the exhaust on like trucks or some things like that.
I do think there is something to be said for the person who has the amazing show-off vehicle. And the ladies will say, you know, he's making up for something. Some sort of
compensating, yes.
Overcompensating.
Yes.
And in Montana, a federal court has nailed Scott Rhodes with a $9.9 million forfeiture penalty by the Department of Justice. 3 years ago, the FCC issued the fine after it was found that he sent thousands of harassing and malicious spoofed robocalls that targeted people and communities in several states, specifically following tragedies that included murder. And he has been fined $9.9 million.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
Anti-Israel protests on another college campus. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time, Yale University, where hundreds of students are right now staging pro-Palestinian demonstrations in New Haven, Connecticut, as police with riot gear stand by. While in New York City, Columbia University's president says classes will be remote today.
In a Sunday statement, she said the decision was made to, quote, de-escalate the rancor and give us all a chance to consider next steps. Campus protests have gone on for almost a week, and on Saturday, some Jewish students were targeted with anti-Semitic verbal attacks, resulting in responses from New York City Mayor Eric Adams, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, and the White House, denouncing calls for violence.
responded with a strike in Iran. This happened nearby in Iraq.
At least 5 rockets were launched from the Iraqi town of Zumar, landing near a U.S. military base in northeastern Syria Sunday. But a U.S. official tells Fox it's not clear if the base was the target. No American service members were killed or hurt, and there was no damage to the base.
As Fox's Jill Nato, the Senate could approve the House-passed foreign aid package tomorrow, which includes new funding for Israel and Taiwan and Ukraine's battle against Russia, though some Republicans voted against that, saying we've even given Ukraine enough. And they've even threatened to oust House Speaker Mike Johnson for allowing that vote. Ukrainians, though, are happy the U.S. is poised to deliver another $61 billion in military aid.
Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky on NBC's Meet the Press said the House vote is support for Ukraine maintaining its democracy, but through an interpreter nudged the other congressional chamber to give its approval.
We want to get things as fast as possible so that we get some tangible assistance for the soldiers on the front line as soon as possible, not in another 6 months.
President Zelensky said with Senate approval, the aid can give Ukraine the resources it needs to win the war with Russia. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could surge at the opening bell next hour. Dow futures up more than 200 points. The Nasdaq and the S&P 500, they have gone down 6 trading days in a row. The Nasdaq lost more than 5% last week. In the NBA playoffs, all the home teams won series openers yesterday. Boston, Milwaukee, Oklahoma City, and the LA Clippers. It was the same thing for hockey. The New York Rangers, Florida, Winnipeg, Vancouver won game 1s of their NHL playoff series. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, we're at 38 degrees under mostly sunny skies, on our way into the lower 50s. Then we'll be back into the 70s by early next week. Your full forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Adirondack Home Furniture. A funeral service is taking place today for a member of the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department who died in the line of duty. A memorial for Lieutenant Michael Husak is at 11 a.m. at the State Expo Center on the property of the New York State Fairgrounds. Husak and Syracuse police officer Michael Jensen died after being shot in Salina last Sunday. The suspect, 33-year-old Christopher Murphy, was killed in a shootout with law enforcement. There was another scary moment dealing with Syracuse police officers yesterday, as today we're expected to get more information on a standoff that lasted more than 12 hours. Officers surrounded a residence on Caleb Avenue yesterday after getting a report of a suspicious individual with a gun. A shelter-in-place order was put into effect for the surrounding area while police tried to get a man who went inside of a house to surrender. He eventually did so peacefully, and no injuries were reported. The pain at the pump just keeps getting worse for drivers across central New York as gas prices rise. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now $3.60. That's up 11 cents in just the last week and is also 24 cents higher than what it was a month ago. Right now, the state average is $3.69 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.67. The American Red Cross is taking action to help keep people safe from the dangers posed by fire. The agency is going to be handing out smoke alarms around the region on Saturday, May 4th. Members will also be educating people about the causes of home fires and urging them to come up with an escape plan. Registration for the program can be done online at redcross.org. And people who are worried about being able to put food on the table are being invited to attend an event taking place in Utica today. A drive-through free food giveaway is scheduled to run from 2 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. at the Johnson Park Center Food Pantry on West Street. Among the items that will be available are chicken, cheese, pasta, fruit, and vegetables. Anyone who does not have a vehicle can get food tomorrow at the pantry between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m. One more for you. Taylor Swift's new album is out, but she is not going to be celebrating at the Met Gala. Neither is Travis Kelce. TMZ reports the pop superstar and NFL player were invited to the event, but both RSVP'd no. Swift seems to have an Eras Tour conflict with the May 6th event. She'll be getting back on the road to Paris after the much-anticipated release of her album, The Tortured Poets Department. Swift and Travis have yet to walk a red carpet together at any event. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we'll see sunny skies, highs in the lower 50s. Then clear skies overnight bring temperatures down around freezing. Tomorrow, we'll see an increase in clouds and an increase in the temperatures, as highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. Then throughout the week, we'll be right around the 50 to 60 territory. But looking ahead to next weekend and early next week, we'll be back into the upper 60s and lower 70s. So the weather is getting warmer. You just have to be patient. 38 now under sunny skies at 8:09.
Can I, before you do your sports, I just want to make you feel okay.
Okay.
Yesterday, now you realize that this week is spring break week.
Okay.
For Oneida County schools.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're all off this week. You know the number of people who go to Myrtle Beach for spring break. That's a
lot.
Upstate New York hotspot for spring break. Yesterday, 49 rain and wind.
Ooh, boy.
At the beach. It was the same. It actually was a little bit nicer here. Miserable. I'd say a little less miserable here than in Myrtle Beach. Today, you know what it's going to be? I mean, you drive all the way, you plan your vacation, everything's great. 63 sun and clouds today. So it's going to be much warmer.
Wow.
Now, and remember, if you're near the water, it's going to be probably 5 to 7 degrees cooler in the wind. So it's going to be chilly. But tomorrow, 67 and sunny. And then Wednesday, 77 and sunny. So they're going to get a few days out of it. But if you have friends that went to Myrtle Beach right after, like, Friday, they had some really cool weather to start. It was not nice at all. Not us. Here, Davey, we're here. We're here. We're just doing the work. Dealing with the weather here. Andrew with sports right now at WIBX.
Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The New York Yankees got it done, although they tried to give it away. The final score 5-4 in their rubber match against the Tampa Bay Rays. Luis Gil earned his first win of the season after striking out 9 batters and allowing an unearned run over 5 2/3 innings. New York is now leading the AL East at 15-7, and they'll continue their homestand when they host the Athletics for a 4-game set that begins this afternoon at Yankee Stadium. Before the game Saturday, a longtime broadcaster John Sterling was honored with a thank you for his years of broadcasting, and they gave him an 80-inch TV. So that was a pretty sweet parting gift. The Mets were unable to complete their series sweep after being blown out by the Dodgers 10-0 in their finale. Adrian Hauser suffered his second loss of the season for allowing 8 runs over 7 hits on 7 hits over 4 innings of work. New York is now third in the NL East at 12-9. They'll visit the San Francisco Giants for a 3-game set that begins tonight at Oracle Park. The Knicks are hoping to take a commanding lead in their first-round series against the 76ers of Philadelphia. After taking them down 111-104 in the first game of the best-of-7 series, New York is hosting Philly in Game 2 tonight at Madison Square Garden. Meanwhile, in the NHL, the top team in the Stanley Cup playoffs flexed their muscles as the Rangers topped the Capitals 4-1 in Game 1 of the first-round series. After a scoreless opening period, New York will look to take a commanding lead in the best-of-7 series when they host the Caps in Game 2 tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. The Islanders hoping to bounce back from their Game 1 loss. New York will be looking to even its first-round series at a game apiece when it visits the Carolina Hurricanes for Game 2 at PNC Arena. The Islanders have not made it to the second round of the playoffs since 2021, and the Utica Comets season has come to an end, unfortunately. They could not get it done, but unfortunately their hopes of the Calder Cup playoffs ended when Belleville beat Laval on Friday. If you're struggling with pain, whether it be neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, or neuropathy pain, and so much more, there is a solution available. It's Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. ReviveUtica.com is the website, and I'm going to give you the number here in just a little bit, so be ready for that phone number, because when you mention the Keeler Show, they're going to give you the Discovery Days deal, which is a significant discount on your initial consultation and treatment. So what is Softwave? It is high-speed sound waves that direct your body's natural stem cells and blood flow to the impacted area. It promotes natural healing. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and joint issues. So if you're sick of the injections, you're sick of the pain pills, or you want to put off surgery maybe just a little bit longer, give Revive Softwave Therapy a try. ReviveUtica.com, but the number, here it is, 315-725-8427. That's 315-725-8427. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy. Again, ReviveUtica.com.
So I should be careful comparing our weather to the weather of in Myrtle Beach. Today will be 53 and sunny. They'll be like 63 and sunny today.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be 65 with sun and clouds.
Yes.
Getting a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
But on Wednesday, light rain, high 48 here. So, but you say we're going to hit the 70s by next week.
That's the long-term forecast.
Okay.
That's what it's saying.
Might be nice. We'll get to all that coming up. The official coffee of this radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. They have the new Mochi green tea latte. If you've not tried this as of yet, it is so good, and it's a popular item. So check it out at Daylight Donuts. Coffee, espresso, lattes, iced coffee, breakfast sandwiches, authentic bagels, New York-style bagels, and, of course, their donuts are made fresh there every day. The drive-thru, fast. You're in and out, and you're on your way. It is Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. In studio right now is Assemblyman Brian Miller. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
So let's have you. We're going to move it down just a little bit, and you got to get right on it.
Got a new studio here. It's needs some stuff in the walls.
We're hearing that. We are hearing that.
We're working on it.
So, all right, what do you think of the budget?
20 days late.
Yeah,
$237 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Up $4 billion from the governor's proposal. Was it a good budget? No, it wasn't a good budget.
Yeah.
Affordability wasn't addressed. There was a lot of things. And,
we talked to Marianne Buttonshot about schools. It's going to be a really scary time for some school districts, especially the smaller school districts.
Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of rural school districts, and when the hold harmless part of the foundation formula was left out, it was really affecting these small schools. And it's not just that. That was put back in, but they're losing in enrollment. I really wish that we would have started looking at the foundation aid formula.
Right.
And that really has to be done instead of kicking the can down the road again. Because these schools are in trouble.
I almost feel like if you're a smaller district and enrollment is down, you may be forced to consider merging.
Well, we got one school in the southern part of Madison County is looking to merge right now with one along the lake. It's Morrisville and Cazenovia.
Oh, okay.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
But they've been looking at it, but there's just not them. Like I said,
and mergers are so hard because it becomes like a family war.
Well, that's a great way to put it. Years ago, I think it was in '83, Sequoia and Chadwick's merged. And that was probably one of the easiest, best, well-fit-in mergers that I've seen over the years.
Yep.
Because of the valley, Sequoia Valley is a Sequoia Valley.
Right.
But with like Morrisville and Cazenovia, you have two different cultures. You have an agricultural community.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a college over there, but along the lake, there's a different.
It's a different lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
And we saw it with the merger of what was supposed to be Ilion, Mohawk, Herkimer, and Frankfort, and that was a battle. So then Frankfort got out, and they tried to do it with Herkimer, Ilion, and Mohawk. Herkimer got out, and they finally were able to do it with just Ilion and Mohawk. Now that's CVA. But it was like a family war, a civil war.
Oh, absolutely. People think they lost their identities.
Yeah.
Well, have they?
especially when one district is a little larger than the other. At the end of the day, we're talking high school.
High school. No,
yeah.
Bring the trophy cases along.
I know.
And all that. And, change the school colors. We had a great opportunity.
Yeah, right.
There.
You can do it rebranding entirely.
Right.
Yeah.
When the mascots were changed, I talked to some students that called about that from Sequoia, and I said, what an opportunity to leave a legacy from your class that you get to do. So,
but at the same time, you get caught up in the whole thing. We've been this for forever. How can you lose that tradition? But at the end of the day, it's got to be done.
Well, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's look at it as a place here where we can change education and how it's done.
Right. Okay. Anything in the budget you are happy was put into the budget? You're walking away saying,
well, the hold harmless, I'm happy, that was there. There's the CHIPS funding, the highway funding for the roads was brought back to the old, last year's funding levels.
Okay.
Was it good enough? Absolutely not. We got a 60% increase in construction costs right now, so we should have really been looking at.
I think it was. That's a very good point. Just the cost of materials.
And they're going to go up higher, because all of our blacktop is petroleum based, and we're seeing $3.65 a gallon of gas right now.
Yeah.
So the price of oil's. It's a function of what the blacktop's going to be.
Yeah. So that, and then just Mary Ann was mentioning some of the crazy things that they were trying to get passed out of the downstate. That really is what made this thing go on as long as it did.
Oh, absolutely. There were budget bills. We started passing budget bills last week, Monday or Tuesday. I can't even remember. They all run into each other. But the budget was still getting negotiated as we were going along. So a budget bill would come out, we'd put an extender in, and we'd move along on that one, and then the bills would be let out 11 o'clock at night. Our the minorities Ways and Means team has to review them. We have to be briefed on them, and we're debating that budget piece the next day.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of downstate, upstate thing. It's parity, and we fight really hard so we can get our money for school aid, for libraries, for our roads, for our DSP workers. I wish that was at 3.2%. It was at 2.8.
Yeah.
And they take care of some of our most vulnerable population out there, and we have to pay these people.
So you're really you're battling to get that money from it. It always amazes me when people say, what we got to do? We got to split the state. We got to cut New York City and Long Island right off. It'll be upstate. We'll call ourselves Mississippi 2 versus downstate, because we rely so much, and just what you're talking about right now is exactly what we have to do. We're fighting for that money. They don't want to give upstate.
They just don't want to give it upstate.
They don't want to give it.
Plus there was $2.4 billion for the migrant crisis, and it's all going to go to New York City. And I believe that we are seeing some of it up here, and it should be across the state. But the $2.4 billion could have been used for school aid, could have been used for our roads. It comes back down to priorities.
Right.
And another thing we had there was the retail crime theft.
Yeah.
We wanted to see more.
So what do they end up with? What do they finally end up with?
Well, they ended up changing the penalties from a class, from a misdemeanor to a Class E felony.
Okay.
Along with the Class E felony, it doesn't make the offenses bailable.
Right.
So we didn't
really
do anything. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything with the bail reform or any of that.
So you can still go do it on Monday, steal some jewelry, and then get out, and then go back on Tuesday and steal again.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
How many times does it take before they say, all right, we're going to put you in jail?
Well, I was hoping it was one.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
It all depends on the severity of the offense.
Right. How much money everything's worth. It is unbelievable to watch, and I was able to see this firsthand in a store recently, an electronics store, and I'm checking out, and some guy walks in. And I noticed the clerk who was handling me. This was kind of a non-busy time of the day. And he no longer was paying attention to me. And I'm just observing. And he's clearly seeing some guy walk in. And then he gets on his phone and talks to somebody. And there's kind of code. I don't know what he was saying. It was like, breaker 19, breaker. It was kind of like, we got a Blue Ivory.
We got a 246.
246. So he gets off the phone, and I, of course, am curious. So I'm like, that guy's a shoplifter, huh?
Yep.
And he said, no. He's the lookout. He said he comes in and scouts out what he wants and looks at what security looks like, goes back out, and he said, in about 10 minutes, another guy's going to come in.
Wow, this was locally?
Yes.
Oh,
and that's the guy. And he said, we know both of them. They've been here before. They've stolen before. So I'm like, do you need me to tackle them? Because I'll do it. I will.
Can you delay me, cashing me out? Because I want to see this go down.
And he said, no, we can't even. We have to call the cops.
Got to call the cops.
And we can't do anything. So why do you have loss prevention? What can they do? I guess they can.
Well, we should all be up in arms on this.
We should be.
It's costing all of us.
I know.
With
we're
with
paying
inflation,
more.
We're paying for
no
it.
doubt.
Yep. I watched similar thing. We were at one of the hardware stores in the area, and the guy standing up front, looking around. I'm trying to cash out. He looks about 3 ways, and out the door he goes.
Yeah.
And the cashier just kind of looks at him and. Oh, well.
What are you going to do?
But I'm thinking, that just cost me probably 5 cents
Absolutely.
more on this
on
this merchandise.
And even the and we make it easier, right? Don't we? With the automated checkouts now, so they'll scan one item and 3 of the more valuable items go right out with them, right out the door.
But,
although I think there are cameras on that, which allows them.
Well, there probably is more there than there.
It allows them to give that to authorities so that they can arrest the people, so they can be released, and that's where we are today.
That's where we are today, and hopefully we can turn this all around. And
when you say to these assembly people from downstate, this is what's happening. How do they respond to that?
Well, please come down and watch some of the debates. Okay, we stand up, we debate. The people that some of them don't even want to hear it. They're on their phones. They're doing all other kinds of things.
They don't pay attention.
They don't pay attention.
Because they see us as rednecks, upstate rednecks.
Well, we
don't know what we're talking about.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
do you ever have conversations with these people, like face to face, and say,
I imagine you have a beer with these people, right?
After session's over, we're at events with everybody.
They mean well.
We talk about it.
Yeah.
I just, they have their agenda seems to be different than ours.
Yeah. Meanwhile, do they know you're an engineer? Like you are someone who?
Well, we talk about that all the time.
Come to certain conclusions that are based on science.
A lot of these bills are they're not very well thought out. The bill comes up and they talk about putting chapter amendments, and we'll fix it down the road.
Right.
Well, when you put a bill in, you got to look at I want to do A, and how does C, D, and E get affected?
Yeah.
No, that's what we want to do. So.
Crazy world you're in.
Yes, it is. But
and believe it or not, you're running for re-election.
Yes, I am.
That's a good thing.
We're doing a lot of good things. Just one thing I just want to bring up. Said you were at the airport.
Yes.
Or out to dinner. Syracuse.
We were at the airport in Syracuse yesterday.
And you said you saw a possible SU basketball player.
I did.
Well, I got a great picture of all of us at the Citron Classic at the wheelchair. The new center for Syracuse is 7'4".
Yeah,
and we got a group picture of all of us. We put Bill right in front of him just so we could, see
I was doing something over my head. I don't know what he was doing, but And I started thinking that out. He's 7'4". Just think about that. I mean, that's
big guy.
That's a big, big guy. And when you stand right up next to him,
you realize how
you realize what
large these
it was so funny because he was so we were at the Utica College gym, right? So he's just how high is the rim in college ball?
Rim's 10 foot.
10 feet. He's just up there.
You can just about I don't know if you can grab a hold of it.
He was. He had his hand on it. It's like like unbelievable. So,
but it was a great event. It was there was a lot of money raised, and it was good to see the public out.
It was good. Yep. We lost a lot of potential Syracuse players, but to have him there was really pretty impressive. That was pretty cool. Nice job. Did you score?
No, I had 3 assists. So.
Did you see my horrible attempt at scoring? It's really amazing when you're in that chair and you think you know how far you're pushing that ball, and it's like 3 feet short of the rim.
It's a hold.
Yeah.
Those guys that
you don't have your spring. You don't have your feet to jump.
You have nothing. You got arms. Yeah, that's it.
It's your arms, and you're like, man, I'm way off on this one. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll break. Jeff Garral coming up, I believe, this weekend, right?
It was this past weekend.
This past weekend, Vernon Downs opened up. We'll speak with Jeff coming right up at WIBX.
It's time for the biggest savings event of the year when it comes to your pool and spa chemical needs. It's Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa's annual chemical sale, celebrating 10 years of business. Go to tuckerbackyard.com or stop by our new location, 8086 Seneca Turnpike, and save 15%. Plus, check out our fully functional pools and spas in our one-of-a-kind showroom to help complete your pool and spa buying experience. Or use our newly interactive showroom and design the pool or spa of your dreams. Design, interact, review, and save. Come visit us now till the end of April during our 10th annual chemical sale with 15% off all chemicals in stock. Or shop us online at tuckerbackyard.com. It's time for the biggest savings event of the year when it comes to your pool and spa chemical needs. It's Tucker Backyard Pools and Spa's annual chemical sale. We bring the fun to your backyard. 8086 Seneca Turnpike, Clinton, 1 mile west from the Big Apple Plaza. Online at tuckerbackyard.com.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Hey, I want to tell you about Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. Whether you're looking for tile or any type of flooring, carpeting, vinyl flooring, hardwoods, they have everything in the largest inventory in all of Central New York at their all-new Route 49 Plaza. You can sign up for a $50 off coupon on their website or I should say, and get 6 months interest-free financing right now. You wouldn't go to a flooring store to buy a bicycle. Why would you want to go or a garden tractor, right? Why would you go to buy flooring at a place that sells you a garden tractor? It just doesn't make any sense. You go to the flooring experts, and they have the largest inventory in all of Central New York. In Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online at sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, on the line right now is Jeff Garral. Of course, Vernon Downs opening up. It is, yes, that time of year, and that's always a good thing. Jeff Garral, good morning.
Good morning.
So here we go with another season. How you feeling?
Well, I'm a racing guy, not a casino guy. I just became a casino guy. And all my partners bailed because we were losing so much money. But fortunately, we've turned that around, and the legislature came to the rescue, restored the tax break that they had given us a few years ago. And, Now we're doing good. Our business is good, and racing helps. People should realize we have the number one racetrack in the state. Most of the other, with the exception of Tioga, which is a 5/8 track, but the Vernon is a 7/8 track, which is makes it much fair for the horses.
Yeah.
Because it's easier for them to get around. They don't have the tight turns that they have on a half-mile track, and the stretch is longer. So it's a great racing surface, and people love to race there. I love to race there myself in stakes races.
So, there is there's a nostalgia to Vernon Downs. People should not forget that it's just a great spot, a great night out, and it's one of the gems in this area.
Oh, it's beautiful. Once the grass turns green, which it has, and if you sit there, you're looking out, the view is beautiful. You're looking at the, there's a big horse farm owned by a veterinarian, and it's just a beautiful scenic spot. And we try to make it fun. We have this horseplay giveaway, and we have a concert every year where all the proceeds go to the food bank. So we try to make it fun for people.
What is what are plans for the year? What are the highlights? And by the way, have you named the concert as of yet?
I hate to say it, I think they have.
Okay.
But
do you know what it is?
I don't know if they've announced it publicly. And
okay. So you can't you don't know if you can give us the scoop yet or not.
Exactly. But the highlights for us are the Zweig, which is a big race for trotters. The purse is a couple $100,000, and we have the Empire Breeders' Classic for trotters, also for 3-year-olds, and then we have sire stakes throughout the meet for New York bred horses. Like I said, it's a great place to race. We have horsemen that stable there year round, and then others that ship in who are lucky enough to go to Florida who have young horses, so they prep the young horses in Florida, and then they bring them to Vernon for the season. So I look forward to the racing.
Yeah, talking with Jeff Corral.
Nostalgic.
It is nostalgic. It really.
Nostalgic. I get people all the time telling me, "Oh, I used to come with my grandfather or my father," but we still we do get a decent amount of people coming out. We have dining that overlooks the track, and hopefully people come out.
How did you said you turned things around at the casino. How were you able to do that?
I think we have a good team, to be honest, and we had gotten we were paying the same tax rate as the other racinos, even though we did half as much business because we compete with Turning Stone.
Right.
So we had gotten a lower tax rate of 6 years ago, and then when it expired, they didn't extend it, which made no sense. Mm-hmm. And then finally they did. Mary Ann Boutenchain and Joe Griffo and the local assemblyman from Vernon all pitched in, and were able to get the legislature to restore the tax break. So that gives us the ability to spend money on marketing. And long term, I've got to probably upgrade, do some more physical upgrades to the racing side.
Yep.
The casino has been upgraded as well as the hotel and the ballrooms and all the other stuff, but we still have work to do on the racing side.
All right. One of those assemblymen just walked out the door, Brian Miller. All right, good stuff. And Vernon Downs is open for the season. Jeff Corral, as always, we appreciate the time and wish you the best.
Thanks for having me.
All
Bye.
Right. Thank you so much. It is nostalgic, right? Going to Vernon Downs, there's definitely a nostalgia to it all. Got a break. Coming right back at WIBX.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at lifelock.com.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at lifelock.com.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it. That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Herkimer County, it's happening in Herkimer County. Explore Herkimer County Diamonds, or I should say Herkimer Diamonds. Savor the taste of Herkimer cheese. Take a boat tour along the historic Erie Canal. If you have a business or event to promote, Herkimer County, their development, Herkimer County Development Facebook page will assist you in promoting your event, whether you're a local or just passing through. Come on down to Herkimer County. And just around the corner, food truck season begins. That'll be Monday. This starts mid-May. Mondays in Herkimer, downtown Chowdown. Wednesdays, the Alien Food Truck Frenzy. Fridays, the Heel Path Brewery in Frankfort. And that's just the beginning. Enjoy Herkimer County. There's much to do in Herkimer County.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I don't know if you were paying any attention at all, but Saturday was 420.
Oh, yes.
And so That all started when? When did this all begin? Is there a history?
It was years ago.
History to 420?
I wish we had J-Man on Friday or even today. But,
So it's a marijuana thing.
Yes. And there's a lot of urban legends as to why the reason is what it is. I mean, something as crazy as Hitler's birthday to some other significance. I think was rumors that it was a police code.
Hope it's not Hitler's birthday.
That it was a police code.
So either way, 420 p.m. has become the point where the most avid stoners would light up every day at 420, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there were a few DJs that I always recall would mention, hey, it's 420, and right. So, but then on April 20th, it becomes almost like a stoner's holiday.
Oh, yeah.
And now with the legalization of marijuana, it's crazy. And Davey, on his way back from Syracuse on Saturday, what did you go out for? You went out for a
toy and comic book fest over at the fairgrounds.
You have the most wonderful life. Like, you do all of these great things. Like I wouldn't have. While you were doing that, I'm building a closet for my wife.
Oh, that's nice of you.
She had big plans for this closet. I'm going to tell you something. The internet is the worst thing. The internet gives
you the
people,
confidence to think you can do this?
No, it gives people ideas.
Oh no, 100%.
Right? It's like all of a sudden, we can have a closet like this. Like a beauty room.
Yep.
What do I want a beauty room for? It's not for you. It's
right.
not for you.
Exactly.
So that's what I was doing. And you don't have that, Davey. You don't understand how lucky you are. So you were able to go off with friend Jim Rondinelli.
Mm-hmm.
You guys go to a toy show.
Yeah, and comic book.
And you meet up with a beautiful former WWE star.
Well, you guys both know that I love collecting, getting autographs and doing memorabilia.
Yeah. And you did that.
Yeah.
Did you buy any toys?
I bought an AEW action figure, which I needed to add to my collection.
Okay,
And I added it over the weekend to my collection.
How much is that collection worth now? Do you think it completes the collection?
No, there's a whole bunch.
Oh, you got a lot more to go.
Get,
okay.
But it was one that I was lacking in the first series.
And you've got it now.
Yeah.
All right. So you get off to grab a little bite to eat at the Verona exit.
Yep.
You go over to the recovery room, which if you've not been there, it's a sports bar.
Yeah.
It's a cool place.
Yes, it is.
As you drive into the recovery room, this is where I want to pick up your day and your observation.
The Turning Stone owns a marijuana
dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's right where the Dunkin' Donuts.
What time is this? So you're coming back?
It was after 12:30.
About 12:30 p.m. midday.
Yeah, and the line is wrapped around almost to the end of the parking lot to get into this place.
To get in.
Yeah.
Why?
It's because it was 420.
Because it was 420. They said there were lines there. There have been lines there a lot.
Yeah. Well, I go by there quite a bit, but this is the most I've seen of the line.
You know, I got to tell you, when going to the Turning Stone, you now smell. It's not that they're smoking inside necessarily. It's that they've gone outside and smoked. But I think you could smoke. That means because there's a smoking section of the Turning Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Can you smoke marijuana in that section?
I don't know. I don't
know the
That's
answer
a good
to
question. You would
It's
imagine
legal.
you'd
Why
be
couldn't
able
you?
to.
Yeah. Why
if you
couldn't
could
you?
smoke cigarettes, you could. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's even. I know they have their own laws, but if the New York State law is you can smoke marijuana anywhere you can smoke cigarettes.
I would think, though, that with so you have the line around the dispensary, and then you have right next door the recovery room, which is a restaurant where you can buy munchies.
Mm-hmm.
I would think there'd be a line at both places.
Well, you got the Dunkin' Donuts in between. Too.
Okay, all right. So that dissipates the line a little bit. Fair enough. All right, I have some other stuff.
Thanks for your 420 report.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that, Davey. Thank you. Today is, I don't know if you realize, today is Earth Day.
Okay.
Not a lot of fanfare for Earth Day this year.
No, I mean,
Is it
the
because
Earth
it's
is
landing
doomed.
on
The Earth is doomed anyway. So
why clean it up?
What can you do?
Yeah, why do anything with it?
Yeah.
Today is Earth Day if you're celebrating, and I don't see too many people doing a lot of celebrating. A new poll shows that only 12% of people say they actually had their mouths washed out with soap by their parents. Only, Andrew, 12%.
I think that number's low.
You think more people have had it?
I think so. They just don't want to admit the trauma.
I think I've tasted soap. 13-year-old middle school girl in Pennsylvania attacked a 12-year-old classmate last week with a large Stanley cup.
Oh, one of those. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Here are multiple parents. I don't.
They're the expensive, like, it's all the rage. It's got like a lion emblem on it, and it's metal, and it keeps your drink cold.
So it's not a hockey thing.
No.
Oh, okay. I had no idea what this was. Anyway, here are multiple parents of students from that school speaking out about what they're calling a violent attack. Here we go. This was a violent attack.
I can't even tell you what it's like to get a text message like that when your kid is at school. He's been a mess ever since.
Okay, by the way, these parents are all crying. I forgot to mention that. Apparently, it was a violent attack.
He texted me and just said, Mom, I'm scared. I can't even tell you what it's like to get a text message like that when your kid is at school. He's been a mess ever since. I just feel like there had to be multiple failures along the way here for this to happen.
You get that call from your kid hearing the words blood and help me, and you freeze and you panic.
If it was taken serious by multiple complaints, that little girl would have been in school today.
How are you keeping our kids safe?
So it was a little girl that was doing the attacking.
Wait, was she the attacker or the attackee?
I think the little girl was attacking.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2024 inductees. These are all real. I say they're real. They're actually inductees. These are not nominees. Peter Frampton and the band Foreigner. And that's with what's his name as the lead singer. Also, others going in include these artists.
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
A little Cher, a little Cool in the Gang. Yeah.
Everybody get on now.
Mary J. Blige. This is a group I never heard of. I have no idea. A Tribe Called Quest.
I've never heard of them either.
Can I kick it?
But Smitty's a big fan.
And really surprised the Dave Matthews Band is not in. Also, Jimmy Buffett goes in.
Oh, when you come crash into me.
Pretty wild.
It's quite the assortment of inductees this year.
It is. That is not the complete list, but it is a rather diverse, right? A rather diverse group of artists going in. I don't know if you've noticed fast food chains. The prices at fast food chains.
It's unbelievable.
Have been actually going up over the course of the last 10 years. Nick Nianakis. Nianakis is the head of a franchising consulting company, and Nick is on the line right now. What's going on here? Why are these prices going up there, Nick? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. You've got food prices going up. The producers are going up. Meat has gone up. Labor has gone up. And you've got some very loose monetary policy that's happened since the pandemic impacting supply chains. All of that leads to a family of four paying $60 to $70 to go through the fast food line.
Wow. Have you ever tried to do fast food and order using one of the delivery services? You're definitely over $80.
Oh yeah.
You're definitely.
I don't
over
like
$80,
using those services.
there are a lot of fees for convenience. So a lot of states like New York are dealing with high minimum wage, especially for people who work in fast food restaurants, or higher minimum wages.
Yeah, well, look at what's going on in California.
Yeah.
They just increased the minimum wage from $16 to $20 an hour. New York isn't going to be too far behind, guys.
Yeah. Well, we like to compete. New York likes to say we did it before they did it.
Yeah.
So
$21 an hour.
There is a problem with food prices, but fast food used to be the place where you would go to get things on the cheap, the dollar menus, that sort of thing. Those have been taken away.
There's no dollar menu anymore.
Yeah.
What's scary is...
Well, they call it a value menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The value menu, yeah, it's $2.99. Our most vulnerable parts of society are the ones that are going to suffer by eating lower and lower quality food. You got to eat.
Yeah.
But then that's going to show up in healthcare costs down the line. So this isn't really good governance. You got to let business compete. And that's what they're doing through technology, smarter food purchasing, unfortunately higher prices, and lower portions. So you're paying more to get less.
I'm wondering, there was a big story out there about the filet of fish being the sandwich being smaller.
Yeah.
So I picked up my daughter, bringing her home on Friday, and it was early. We stopped into a McDonald's, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go off my diet and have a filet of fish. I don't see it as being that much smaller, if it is smaller at all. What are your thoughts?
You know, the price at McDonald's has gone up by over 100% since 2014, all across the board.
Wow.
And take a look at how many ketchup packets they're giving you. Average McDonald's goes through about 8 gallons of ketchup a day in wastage. And what you're getting is a tsunami of higher prices all across the board.
You certainly are. And I don't know how much you'll know about this, but I'm wondering, we recently did a comparison between Aldi, the mayonnaise at Aldi, Hellmann's versus, I think it's called Berman's.
Berman's, yes.
Mayonnaise. In fact, yesterday I had a whole bunch of family members and we were doing a taste test at our house, and it's hard to tell the difference. But you know what the difference is, Nick? $3 for a container difference. The Hellmann's is like almost $6. The Berman's is like $3.
Well, somebody's got to pay for that marketing on the Hellmann's.
You're right.
And, you know, McDonald's just ended their relationship with Heinz. They're making their own ketchup. So you're seeing white labeling come in.
Whoa.
You're seeing robots coming into fast food. In the front of the house, if you ever used a kiosk instead of a human to order, and now you're seeing them in the back of the house with robots making food.
You're telling me that McDonald's no longer uses Heinz ketchup?
That's right.
That's terrible.
Well, you just ruined our day there, Nick.
Well, you know what? I'll bet that was a move that saved them millions of dollars.
A ton of money.
Yep, a ton of money.
And how else can you fight inflation, right? You can't have your people stop coming in or else you're going to go out of business. And it doesn't only hit McDonald's, it hits local places like Voss Barbecue as well. All their prices have gone up. They can't help it. Right. They don't want to lose people.
Yep.
Ribs cost more. Everything costs more.
No doubt. Everything costs more. Yeah. All right. Interesting stuff, Nick. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. He is a franchising consultant, and as you're watching these prices go up, I'm just telling you, they are going up. And how does McDonald's? You got to come up with it. It's got to be like the Hellmann's thing. You got to have found a ketchup that tastes just like Heinz, because otherwise it changes the entire taste of everything you do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was not an easy decision, I'm sure.
I'm sure it was not. All right, listen, we have to go. We have news, top of the hour, and Killmeat is next on WIBX.
Hi, this is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We are expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville. They are another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy and fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here is William Schaub from the newest Gates Cole agency, North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville.
Working with us as an independent agent with this many companies, we will often call our clients and say, we're going to reduce your premium if you like. We have the companies that do well in New York and specifically this area. The coverages that we provide are commercial and personal insurance. That's the home, the auto, ATV, motorcycle. There's nothing more fun than taking care of a customer and being able to tell them that we're able to save them some money.
Proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops,